Okay, so this will be step-by-step instructions teaching you how to start, set up, and use iClicker. So, as Cam mentioned, you'll need to obtain base, right, from COE, IT. And once you get your base, you're going to go into the classroom, and you just need to make sure it's plugged in. Now, you received a flash drive. The flash drive can be plugged in directly to the computer, or there's an external USB port that you could use as well. There's nothing special about this USB port. It's just an external port. You could plug your flash drive in there. Okay. So what we're going to do, let me plug this in, and I'll show you how to set up iClicker. Okay, once you plug in your flash drive, you should see this window pop up. If not, just go to your C drive and you can access the iClicker folders from there. If you're using this box, you want to click on Open Folder. And when you open this, you're going to see a few folders. If you're a PC user, you're going to use the Win, iClicker Win. If you're a Mac, use the iClicker Mac. Since this is yours, you can delete all the other software files off your flash drive. All right, so just double click on the Windows. Now you're going to see a lot of folders and icons. Ignore most of it. The only icon you're going to use is this iClicker icon here. This is how you start the system. Then when you're in your office and you want to see how your students answered the questions, you're going to come to this icon here called iGrader. So to set it up, you're going to double click on the iClicker icon. And the first thing you need to do is enter a course. So we'll call this COE. And you can enter a course number if you need. It's not required, just a course name. Then click Create. That's it. That's how you set up iClicker to start using it in your course for evaluation. Now, when you have it, select Choose, and you're just going to click Start. So, you want to make sure your base is plugged into your computer. And once the base lights up, you can now start collecting votes from your students. So every day you come into class and you want to use iClicker for evaluations, just click Start Session and give it just 1 second to boot up. And then when it boots up, a little menu bar is going to pop up on the top left-hand corner of your screen. Right? This means iClicker is ready to go. At this point, you'll open up your PowerPoint or your Word doc, as Cam mentioned. It doesn't matter what application you use to ask your students questions. So you could ask your students questions in PowerPoint if it's in a PDF, Word document. This menu bar, it's a dominant application. It's just going to hover over anything you have open on your screen and allow you to ask your students questions and then receive responses from your students. Now once this is up, you can put your, if you're using PowerPoint, you can put it in presentation mode. And by using my mouse, I'm just going to click on the A through E button to start polling. Now, if you would all power on your remote, it's the bottom button. Once it's powered on, you're going to get a blue light, just indicating that the remote is on. And go ahead and press any button to submit an answer. And you'll notice on the top right-hand side of this menu bar, you'll see the vote count. Right? So I can see that I have 6 votes thus far. So there's no real delay. We'll accept 750 votes per second. Now, what happened behind the scenes is when I click Start, iClicker just took a snapshot of my computer. It took a screenshot, took this picture, and put it in our built-in gradebook. That other icon I showed you called iGrader. And then it's going to tie all the student responses to this image. So after class, you can go back to your office, open up our gradebook. You're going to see every question you asked in the order you asked, and then all the how the students answered the questions. Right? So it ties the student responses to each question. Okay, I'm going to hit stop. Since I'm not showing students the results, I can just continue moving on with my PowerPoint. Okay, and let's just do one more polling. Click start, start my polling, okay, and then go ahead and just press any buttons for the sake of demonstration. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. In addition, you'll be able to see how the students are answering in real time if you look at your base, because it does have an LCD screen. Okay? So this is A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, now, once your session is over, you can just close iClicker out by clicking this X button on the menu bar, and then of course you'll just close this out as well. So now you're back in your office, and we want to look at how the students responded to the questions. So instead of coming here, we're going to go to our built-in gradebook called iGrader. So double click on this icon, open your course, just click close. There's two ways we can see a snapshot of the questions we ask. The first way I'm going to show you is just a session summary, just a quick snapshot of the questions we asked. So in order to view that, double click within the grade column, and now it just tells us the number of students that came to class and answered questions and the number of questions we asked. Down here, if you look on the right hand side, if I click on view screenshot, does that image look familiar? Yeah, that's the first question I asked. If I wanted to view the results chart, I click on the button view chart, and this is how my students responded to this question. And then I could navigate through the questions by using these buttons at the bottom, forward and backwards buttons. Okay. So there's the second question I asked. The second way, when we want to identify how each individual student answered the question, we're going to use this HTML report here. Right? So click on this icon and select the information you want to see. And since I guess your students aren't going to be registered, you're going to select Remote ID. And then click OK. Go directly to student voting data, which is number 2. Although it's using your browser, it is not online, so it is offline. Okay? And then click on the link. Every time you run a session, it just creates a new row for you. So obviously this is the only session I have, so I want to look at my individual student data here. I'm going to scroll down. Okay. These IDs are just the remote IDs the students use to participate. Right? And then these are the answers they submitted. So if I said, well, what's question number 2? You just click on this header. It's a link. And there's the screenshot again with your results chart. And just use your back button to navigate if you wanted to look at the next question. Okay, and that's how you use iClicker in your course.